I mean, you can build some amazingly huge structures or projects, and for a lot of guys, a lot of my mates still do that, and it really puts the wind under their wings. But for us, it's the diversity and the interaction with clients and subcontractors and stakeholders on smaller project that works for us. So you need to align yourself with what suits.
My name's Jason Preston. Worked for Matrix, mid-tier builder, for 10 years. We worked on a whole range of different projects, from sort of education, delivering the burst programs, through to the last project we did was a high-rise in the valley for $80 million for latent properties. So I'd like to think we've got a good range of projects there throughout all the different sectors, from industrial to high-rise. So, and then we started Prekaro 5 years ago on the back of that, and to what it is today.
My name's Adam Robson. I started Prekaro Projects with Jason. Prior to that, I was come from a trade background, and I moved in when I finished back then it was a traineeship. I went on to work for Matrix.
Being with a smaller builder, you probably get a little bit more exposure across all facets of construction. I can only talk on my experience from a mid-tier builder, where you sort of, lack of a better word, pigeonholed into doing certain tasks and responsibilities, where I believe with a smaller builder you get a little bit more exposure with the whole team and how everything operates, and a bit more contribution into the actual business, as opposed to just limiting yourself to the project.
You're not pigeonholed into the same thing every day. They get a lot of input into the business as well, and what role that their task plays in that.
Yes and no. I think it does from a process point of view. Obviously with the larger projects, you get limited in your roles, but you get a lot more exposure in those particular roles and the responsibilities there. So you get into things in a lot more detail, where obviously with a smaller builder, a lot more responsibilities, you sort of don't get that detail, in-depth exposure to a lot of things. But that being said, I don't think it's necessary to work for a larger builder. There's a lot of opportunities working for smaller builders, which you definitely wouldn't get with a mid-tier or larger builder.
I agree. I can only speak on behalf of my experience. Jason and I worked for a larger builder. We were lucky enough to have a lot of exposure to a lot of different projects, so it quite worked in our favour. But then again, a lot of mates of mine that work for larger builders really got pigeonholed. So it gets you a lot of good exposure to bigger processes, bigger projects, sort of the heavier lifting side. And what we found is we adapted the key core good processes and brought them back down to our size business. So it does have a lot of positives, but it can come with a lot of negatives too. It's mainly one-on-one stuff, so you get to go directly to Jason and myself, and then we allocate the team with other members of our direct team that might align with that person better. So our apprentice, for example, he is passed around, it's probably a bad way to say, but he's shared around all the site managers, so he gets exposure to their different strengths. And with strengths, people have weaknesses, and then we try and work on those with him. So instead of just being pigeonholed, aligning on one project, he's actually shared across all the facets, so he's getting a lot of exposure. And then he's obviously sits down with Jason and myself to get that one-on-one time and that care.
We have a weekly gathering with the team where we discuss all the projects, all the challenges, all the opportunities, and discuss it sort of openly. So everyone gets a chance to interact together as a team, so everyone knows and has worked together on a project, whereas obviously in a bigger builder, you work with your project team, and that's sort of your limitation. So you get a little bit more coverage, more responsibility, and obviously myself and Adam are always approachable. So
We also discuss the tenders, what type of projects we're looking at, what type of projects the guys would like to build, our processes, subcontractors. It's a round table discussion. The culture, it's got to fit your ideals and the likes. Like again, we're a small business, we're a small team. It's very interactive. It's very personal. We have a small office. It's what we like. It's all open plan. The communication's there. We do small team functions. You can't hide, but the good thing is you develop really close, good relationships with your work colleagues. So yeah, it comes down to the culture and you fitting there, having the same, they align with what your beliefs are.
As much as you can, look at the projects, type of projects, and the clients that they're working for, and try and get some reference points from obviously subcontractors, clients. Word travels fast in the industry, so you're doing things wrong, people talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to have a good experience base, which I believe we have, and understand the processes and what's required.